Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of my look at acclaimed South Park games. Today we're going to be moving right along to their second offering, South Park Chef's Luv Shack for the Nintendo 64 and PlayStation.
This game was also developed by Iguana Entertainment under their new moniker of Acclaimed Studios Austin. And getting right down to it, this is You Don't Know Jack. You know, that incredible trivia game series that started back in the mid-90s? It really was the first of its kind and a trailblazer for sarcastic, irreverent humor in gaming. Or more accurately, Chef's Luv Shack really wants to be You Don't Know Jack. The premise here is that Chef is now the host of his own cable access game show where hot women compete in order to spend an evening with him. But they couldn't find any attractive ladies, so the 4 South Park boys have to take part instead. And to be perfectly honest, that's actually a pretty funny idea. Points to them, thumbs up. But the problem here is they didn't actually do anything with the concept. For example, there could have been some segments that were clearly intended for sexy young women rather than 4 elementary school boys, and that might have been funny. You can choose from any of the 4 main characters with no options to unlock anyone else from the series. You then have the choice of 2, 4, 6, and 8 round games, with each consisting of questions and a gameplay round, but we'll come back to that. The questions are chosen from an assortment of different, hilariously titled categories, such as My Fart Will Go On, Hippie Crap, and Sucks or Canadian. Yeah, really well worded there, fellas. The questions are what you might expect, the jokes aren't funny, and the presentation falls completely flat. Yeah, that's enough of that. After buzzing in, you can choose to shaft another character and force them to answer instead, with a penalty to you if they happen to get it right. Gee, I wonder where they got that idea. Not that you'd even fucking know that it was available, because they don't bother to mention it anywhere in the game. I only found out about it because I decided to peruse the manual for a minute. But who needs to know the rules, right? There are a couple other segments like the pressure round. Here they strap Cartman to a table and have you choose between 2 different options that best fit a clue. If you happen to get enough right within the time limit, he gets a drill up his ass. Once again, this is a callback to the anal probe from the pilot, but something about this just doesn't sit right with me. This game was supposedly set up by Chef to be played by hot young women, right? So he just had an anal drill ready to go? And the visitors are standing right there. Did he enlist the help of aliens to rape someone in the ass with a drill for his public access game show? None of this makes any sense. But once again, it's just a ripoff of You Don't Know Jack's Dis or Dat segments anyway. There's also the Wheel of Fortuitousness. You spin the wheel and you do or get whatever it lands on. It's crap and it comes up way too often.
I apologize if it's tiresome hearing me prattle on point by point about how one game is similar to the other. Now, if only there was something that set it apart. Oh yeah, I almost forgot! You Don't Know Jack doesn't have shitty minigames.
Not content to ape a good trivia game, but you know, maybe refine it and make a quality product. Oh no, they threw in a butt ton of half-assed minigames instead. You have your Asteroids ripoff, a Balloon Fight ripoff, a Super Sprint ripoff, this bullshit, and not 1 but 2 Follow the Cup with the Ball in It type games, among others. Not one of them is even remotely enjoyable, and honestly they can feel like a punishment for playing the game. And the game ends with 0 climax. There's nothing special about the final round. You just answer questions and you play another minigame. So the one thing they didn't take was the Jack attack? I almost find that more irritating. Graphically, the game just kinda looks cheap. And yeah, I know that trivia games aren't always known for being visual showpieces, but something about Chef's Luv Shack just kinda feels slapped together. They do an okay job of recreating the South Park style animation, but everything else looks like it was done in an afternoon. The sound isn't much better. The cast is back to voice the characters, and there's a fair bit of voice work considering it's an N64 game.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Kyle, pick a category.
That
But what the hell were they thinking with this announcer?
All right, let's jump straight into a gameplay round. If you're not sure how to play, check the instructions. Your controls are displayed beneath your lovable South Park character.
Your lovable South Park character. Really?
It's bad enough that his lines aren't funny, but could they have gotten anyone more bland to deliver them?
Roy, why the hell can't we ever get lovely ladies?
Chef, it's South Park. There are no lovely ladies.
All right, come on, children, here we go.
And then there's the PlayStation version. It's essentially the exact same game, but you need a multi-tap to have more than 2 players at once. Although that could be considered a positive, since it is harder to subject your friends to it.
Cheap shot.
And here they increase the quality of some of the sound samples, but not others. So now it just sounds inconsistent.
Today, one of our lucky ladies is going to win a passion-filled weekend with me. Roy, let's meet our very lovely contestants.
You bet, Chef.
Lovely lady number 1 is Kenny McCormick.
Which oddly enough is worse than having them all sound muffled.
Well, I guess that means
Let's
you were
jump
wrong,
straight into
Peter.
a gameplay round.
But credit where credit's due, they did add voiceovers for all the questions, so that kicks the presentation up a notch. But it mostly looks the same, it plays the same. If you didn't find a whole lot to like about the game on N64, this isn't gonna change your mind.
But how does the Sega Dreamcast version hold up? Who gives a shit? I can't care enough to be upset. It's just so bland. I mean, whereas the last game was actually painful to play, this one just left me feeling empty. I mean, gun to my head, I guess it's better, but only because it's so damn short. The playthroughs will last around 30 minutes max. Well, with that one checked off, I just have one more of these things to go. So, I guess I'll see you next time.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out this video. Go ahead and click the center annotation if you want to see more videos just like it, click the top to subscribe, and don't forget to share it with anyone and everyone. Thanks guys.